Good morning, guys. Welcome back to another YouTube video. Dream Big Series episode 10, I think. I always forget which episode one. I think it's 10. Season 2. We are, I think, about 10 days out, 9 or 10 days out from show. So I thought it'd be kind of good to get like a last training video in, take you through today's arm day that I'm going to do. Nothing crazy at all, just literally just show you what I'm doing for arms. Yeah, and it's going to be, slightly, the intensity is going to be the same, but me taking reps to absolute maximal fatigue is not going to be there. Taking out any grinder reps, things that are just going to cause more fatigue. This week especially, because today is Friday, this week especially I pulled back probably like 20% in terms of trying to absolutely nail my logbook, because I'm quite fixated on that. So I pulled back slightly, taking some pressure off myself in terms of hitting numbers, and I think my body's just recovering a bit more. I'm looking better, looking sharper, looking fuller, looking rounder. So it's only benefited the process. Just getting in the standard double espresso in the morning. So that is what is going down right now. Always have double espresso. And always sit down here. I'm in like a, probably see, I'm in like a conservatory. So it's only just starting to get light. It's pitch black when I came and sat down. It starts to get light around now. But yeah, I sit down for like 10, 15 minutes, have my coffee, have my pre-workout. So it's got, I say it's my pre-workout, but there's no stim. It's a non-stim pre-workout. At the moment, using pumpage from JP, which has been getting me through prep in terms of making my training better, improving my pump during the session, helping me actually get a pump during the session, as it's quite hard at the moment with glycogen stores low. So that goes in about 25 minutes before my session. I just drink it before I go, drive to the gym, and then obviously start training, and it's pretty much kicked in by then. So that's what I'm having at the moment. Intra-workout at the moment is no carbs, just essential amino acids, electrolytes, creatine, pretty your bog standard intra-workout, just for hydration purposes really. That's the main thing, because at the moment I'm in the gym from just after 6 in the morning till about 10:30. You might be like, what? That is ridiculous amount of time spent in the gym. Yeah, it is, but it's pretty non-stop from the minute I get there to when I leave. I train in the morning. I then do my fasted cardio, which at the moment on a training day is half an hour. And then after my cardio, I do a big chunk of my steps. So I'll probably get half my steps in. So that's an hour on the treadmill. Steps in the moment are 12,500 steps. So that brings me up to like 5,000 or 6,000 steps an hour. And then I just get the rest of my steps in during the day, which means I don't have to go out and walk the streets, which is quite nice. So get that big chunk in. Then I go and do posing. So I do 4 rounds of posing. And that's it. That takes me up to 10:30. Obviously, the biggest chunk is mainly training, and then our cardio and posing after that. But that's kind of my morning routine at the moment is that, and I like it. It's something that I wanted to prioritize. It's something that I can prioritize, and it's been a big factor. This prep has been just the fact that I choose and can every single day go and train at that time and spend 5-6 hours in the gym in the morning. You know, come home, have a nap, and then eat. So, you know, I'm very glad that I kind of get to do this in the morning. It really helps start my day. And then I just got my work planned out for the rest of the day. So it doesn't really interfere with anything. I still get everything I need to get done. I just like having that morning routine where it's focused on myself, focused on the goal in hand, getting all my stuff done fasted, and then cracking on with the day and having a good, 6 meals left for the day. So yeah, I'm just going to take you through today's arm session. Each movement, I've got 3 for tricep, 3 for bicep. It's not going to be anything crazy. You're not going to see any huge dumbbells being thrown around or anything. But just to give you an insight of what training is like at the moment, for me, it's boring. I'm not going to lie, it is boring, but that's what the point we're at in prep. I think it should be slightly boring, especially next week. I'm taking next week as kind of like a deload week in terms of training, because I'm just going to be coming in and getting a pump ready, which is what I'm doing today. Nothing too crazy at all. But I kind of take that as like I said, a deload week where it's a back off from training, normal training. I only know how to train one way, and that's balls to the wall. And I can't do that at the moment. As if I did, I'd be putting myself in a hole. I'd be getting too inflamed, breaking too much tissue down. For where we are at in prep, and I just wouldn't be able to recover. I just don't have the food to kind of recover from that. So it's a need must at the moment for what we're doing. So yeah, I'm going to drink my finish my coffee, and then we'll see you at the gym for arms. So yeah, that was arm day. I always forget to wrap up the video and do an outro. So here it is. Arms done. Good session. I'm trying to think back to the session now. It's what time is it? Coming up to 7:30 at night. So we trained like 12 hours ago. No, good overall session. Again, just trying to work a lot on pump work, making sure contractions are being hit and numbers are kind of being hit as well. You know, I am still logbooking my sessions, just ticking off boxes and, you know, keeping an eye on my numbers, of course, and just taking the muscle to failure, because that's where we're going to chase the pump, is when you're taking your muscle close or to failure. So that was today's plan. I do have a little niggle in my right elbow, so I was a bit cautious on that. I started, my first movement is the close grip bench Smith, which you saw. I was debating on going onto the tricep dip machine and doing that instead, in case my elbow was sore. It was aggravating me when I was warming up on the Smith, but I kind of knew, which is sometimes, most of the time, always kind of happens when I get up to a certain load, when it's like heavy-ish, and the niggle kind of goes away. I think warming up on lighter loads, it kind of aggravates it more for some reason. I don't really know why. But as I warmed up and, you know, put my elbow sleeves on and started to kind of get warm and get blood in there, it eased off a bit. So I was able to do my sets on it. And the reason why I chose to do, or have been doing, dead stop, is again to try and prevent any injuries from jolting at the bottom of the movement. So adding a dead stop in, again, is going to take out any sort of momentum from that movement, which I found really beneficial in this close grip bench. I do have the seat, or the bench, set on an incline, a very, very slight incline, just because I feel more comfortable pressing from that. I've never really felt comfortable pressing from a flat bench. I used to do, a few years ago, I used to do flat bench press for chest, and that was all right. But, you know, recently I have just done incline movements. So set the bench to incline, and just do my set on there, which I've been doing for the past, since the close grip's been in, so for the whole of growing phase and into prep. So just wanted to keep it the same. But overall, you know, 3 movements on triceps, 3 on biceps, nothing crazy. I just wanted to go in and move blood around and get a really good pump. I think I mentioned it today. I think it was on my story. We tried a few things last night and this morning. I'm not going to go into too much detail, but we wanted to try and like do a trial peak, because we are like 9 days out from show, 9 days out from show. So we wanted to, this was kind of like, it's our last weekend to kind of trial things. So I had a bit more food last night. I had an extra 60 gram of carbs, which I know isn't a lot, with my last meal. So I literally just had seven rice cakes and 35 grams of jam on top of my pre-workout meal, because I had my pre-workout meal before bed, because I train fasted in the morning. So I had that, dropped weight overnight. I was 110.2 yesterday. This morning I was 109.6. So a little drop, even with a bit more food in there. Must have just sped up metabolism, or it's just a time for my body to drop after kind of holding weight for the past week. So that was kind of nice to see. A new low weigh-in. I haven't been 109 this prep yet. So that was quite cool. And yeah, in the morning I had, what did I do? My pre-workout normal pump formula from JP, which is the pumpage. We added 2 grams of salt and a baby aspirin as well. I had in there. So that was kind of my pre-workout. And then my usual fluids for intra, and then just went in and trained. And we had the session, got a decent pump, and then we did an in-person check-in with Luke, who is my coach. So we will now start doing in-person check-ins because we're close to show. and the plan, like nutrition plan and everything, will be changed on a daily basis starting from Monday. We are still kind of unsure yet whether we're going to do a depletion. We might not have to deplete me. I'm going to check in on Sunday, which is in 2 days' time, and Luke's going to kind of give me the plan from there, what is going to happen on Monday, probably just Monday, to be honest, and then have a look at my Monday morning, Tuesday morning, Wednesday morning, and so on. And we're kind of just going to go with a plan for that. It's going to be a daily thing. He's going to send me the food over, whether we're depleting, whether we're carbing up, how many days we're going to deplete, how many days we're going to carb up before show. It might be a case of just feeding into show, because we're in pretty good shape now. We took pictures this morning and we're pretty much there, to be honest. I've got one more cardio session on Sunday. And I'm not sure yet, because we're checking on Sunday, what the plan is for cardio next week. Obviously, training will be reduced. This is like our last week of training proper. It's my last leg session tomorrow, which is sad, because I won't be training legs next week, which I do not like, but it is what it is. And we'll just go day by day. I'll probably do 4 training sessions next week, just move blood around, especially on when we start carbing up. I will be going in the morning to move blood around and just get the body ready for the carbohydrates for the day, which I think is one of the good things about kind of training fasted for myself, is I have all my food after I train. So we're kind of, bringing glycogen stores down pretty low. Obviously training, doing steps in the morning, and then when I come home, I can kind of carb up and let the carbs enter the body and go from there. So that's kind of a rundown of a jumble of things that I just said, which is kind of going to go over across the next few days. Just a lot of things going on at the moment, and it's crunch time, so there's no real plan set in place, which I kind of just wanted to touch on as well in terms of coaching. Luke's obviously my coach. I'm a coach myself. When you are going into peak week, and let's say, for example, let's say you're 2 weeks out and your coach gives you a set plan for peak week already, and you're 2 weeks out. It's like, here's your macros from, say you're competing on the Sunday, here's your macros from Monday to Saturday with a depletion and carb already set in stone, and you just say, let's do that. That's not the coach to go for. You don't really want to go for that, because your body at this stage in prep changes so quickly, and morning to evening you look completely different, daily you look completely different. There can't be a set plan put in place for peak week. It has to be done on a daily basis. Once the coach has seen pictures of you, once the coach has heard how you feel, and kind of taken the information and put that into the plan. I don't agree with people who send out the plan beforehand, a week beforehand, for the whole of peak week. It has to be done on a daily basis. So that's kind of what we're doing. I kind of just want to touch on that. It's just something I've been thinking about. My shoulder's hurting. But yeah, that's kind of what I wanted to touch on. And just think it's, you're only going to get the best results from doing it on a daily basis and taking that information, looking at checking pictures, and seeing what the body is actually doing with the food you're giving it. Because you might be flat for 4 days, you might have to fill out. If you're getting too depleted, it can be difficult to fill the frame out before going on stage, because your body's in such a sensitive position that if you're too depleted and too run down, you just won't have the time, no matter how much carbs you fill up with or try to fill up with it. You just won't have the time to do that after doing 2 or 3 days of depletion. And then it goes on the other hand as well. If you're too full and slightly flowing over at the start of the week and you start feeding up, you might fill over. So and that is very hard to bring back down to a point where you don't want to be doing zero carbs for the last few days before show, because you're too full and too watery. You don't want to be adding stuff in like diuretics and playing with that, because it's just not what we want to be doing before you go on stage. So a few things there, and I'm yet to find out what we're doing, but like I said, it's going to be done on a daily basis. So I'm looking forward to that. Peak week is always or was my favorite week last year, and just the change in plans, watching the body change so frequently, with what, it's the control over the nutrition. You're controlling what you want your body to do, and that is it's just very interesting for me, and I just find it fascinating how, you choose what to do, what the look you're going for is, and you control that by food and water and salt and everything else. I just think it's one of the aspects of bodybuilding that I find so fascinating. And we are all, as bodybuilders, always striving for that perfect physique and perfect show. So it's how close can you get to that line? That's what everyone's going for: size, condition, symmetry, other categories that I can't think of the top of my head at the moment. But yeah, I'm going to finish there, because I'll just carry on rambling about stuff. But that was our arm session, probably the last training footage you'll see before show day next week. And I'm going to, like I say, go into peak week next week and film each day, Monday to Saturday, of what we're doing. And then obviously I'll try and get as much as I can for show day, and explain as much as I can with what we're doing, just to give you an insight into, maybe you haven't competed before, and just give you an insight of what it's like to be in a peak week and run up to show day. So that's the plan. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go and eat now. I've got 2 meals left, and then I'm training legs tomorrow morning, rest day Sunday, and the plan will be set in place for then. So if you're not already, you could follow me on Instagram. I do daily updates on there, physique, training, story updates of what's going on, and I'll definitely be putting as much information on there as I can in terms of peak week and just what we're doing. So henry.taylor for anyone who wants to go over there and have a look, and follow the last leg of the journey, or the start of the journey, really, because this is our first show of a few that we want to do. So that's the plan. I'm going to leave it there. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, share. We'll see you next week.